What's up, everyone, and welcome back to UA Anime Club, the weekly podcast, sometimes, where we discuss the latest episodes, sometimes, of My Hero Academia as they come out week to week. Again, sometimes. I'm your host, Seth, and as always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Micah and Poyo. Say hi, you guys.
Where am I?
I piss and poo.
Okay.
I piss and poo and sometimes pee. Last time on UA Anime Club, we were joined by Trev, and we took a look at 3 episodes. We had a 3-part banger special that took way too long to edit. I'm very sorry. We explored a little bit of Hawks' childhood. We re-examined the Todoroki family backstory and saw where Dobby came from.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that Deku had a meeting with the One for All users in the spirit world, in the Mind Palace of One for All.
Yeah, big family meeting.
The big family meeting.
But this time we have 2.
Yeah. You think I could communicate with Shimura's ghost,
I
For what?
don't think so, because you're not a One for All holder.
Okay.
But what if you really tried?
Really tried.
Like if you had a mind reading quirk, could you read the minds of the One for All users?
Why would you want to do this?
But we also saw that Deku has decided to spill the beans about his secret of One for All to his classmates via letter, and he's out on his own. Well, he would be on his own if it wasn't for All Might, Hawks, and Best Jeanist and Endeavor coming together to help protect him as he's away from UA, to basically keep all of the villains in Shigaraki away from Deku's friends and family, who are now held up at the UA shelters. This week, or no, not this week, as of this recording, last week's episode is what we're covering today. Episode 132, or episode 19 of season 6, titled Full Power, with 2 exclamation points, because that's how you know how serious it is.
Yeah, that's how you know it's big business.
So this episode is not as lore heavy as some of the other ones we've been looking at, and it's actually special because we're back to the action. The My Hospital Academia arc is over, and they actually got, for the first half of this episode, I think, they got some staff from Studio Bones' Studio B, who, if you don't know, they worked on Mob Psycho 100. There's some of the animators on that. So the beginning of this episode, the whole episode really, but the beginning especially, is just top tier action Sakuga animation.
Mm-hmm.
Which it takes me back to the beginning of the season because it's so good.
Little bit, yeah. I feel like this season, like this part of the core, has been feeling kind of like a little bit like those earlier seasons. I don't know exactly how to describe it.
There was no actions. They were just kind of reserving the animation.
Yeah.
But what about the plot of this episode?
Mm-hmm.
This episode is mostly a fight. However, there's a little bit of stuff, some preamble in the beginning, where we get to reunite with a few of the Ketsubusu Academy students, the rival school of UA.
Been a while.
Shindo and Nakagame, aka Grand and Turtleneck, who are 3rd years at that school, and they're kind of patrolling. His
name is Grand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're patrolling like this seemingly abandoned city, because they're on the lookout for one of the jailbreakers who've broken out of Tartarus, and they come across this rundown building held up by some civilians who have armed themselves. And they're basically saying, like, yo, follow us, we're going to take you to a shelter, you'll be safe, the heroes are on the job. And the civilians are like, get your ass out of here, we don't need you. we can defend ourselves. We've done this. We've got our weapons. We're fine.
Yeah, the
And
public's been very hostile towards heroes.
and Grand tells him, was like, okay, that might have worked against like little smaller time villains, but the guy that is out here right now, way too dangerous. You can seriously get killed.
Mm-hmm.
But the civilians just aren't having it, and they kick them out. And Grand and Turtleneck are basically just they're kicked out. They're contacted by their allies, and they're like, "Yo, the fucking villain is right on top of you." What? And they turn around,
Huh?
and the fucking entire building collapses, and it's revealed to be the man, the myth, the walking tank of destruction himself, Muscular from season 3.
Mr. Chicken Tendies has returned.
Man got fucking ugly.
Yeah, he's all scraggly looking.
He's all scraggly.
He's missing an eye.
This episode also reveals his quirk's name, which is called Pump Up. She's gonna pump you up. He's got muscles.
Pump you up.
I sure hope not.
Wait a minute. What did you think Pump Up meant?
So anyway, let's continue.
So anyway, Grand is like, "Yo,
Okay.
there's some heroes here. What? I'm gonna fight you. Is there more heroes?" And then he sees the civilians with their weapons. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna fight them too." So Shindo, aka Grand, is like, "Turtleneck, you gotta go get them out of here because they're gonna die. I'm gonna try and hold them off." And she goes in to like evacuate the citizens, but they just like they push her aside. They're like, "Get out of the way. We can do this." And we cut back to the fight with Grand and Muscular. And he's getting his shit rocked.
Yeah, he's getting his ass beat.
Muscular's got him like pinned against like some rubble, and his quirk isn't really doing anything to him. Or Grand's quirk isn't doing anything to Muscular.
Mm-hmm.
But he turns up like the intensity of it and uses like his super move on him, which still doesn't really do anything. And as Muscular's about to kill him, which I'm sure Trev would have loved if he did, but as soon as he's gonna kill him, Deku comes in, punches him through like 3 buildings. Like Deku just comes in and just mollywops him.
There's just
which
like
kind of shows like
there's just like a 3 like shot scene of just like the different angles of him getting like fucking punched by Deku. It's crazy.
He punched him so hard it showed it 3 times.
That's
Also,
when you know.
It kind of shows like how much Deku has grown since their last fight, because like Deku was struggling to fight this dude the first time, but now he's at the level. Yeah, he's at the level where he's just able to do that, which that's cool.
So after he does that, he grabs up Grand and he's holding him in his arms, and there's like purple smoke around them. And we learn that this is Deku's next quirk that he's unlocked, called Smokescreen. It's the 6th user's quirk. Am I right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, because Shimura's 7 and All Might is 8 and Deku is 9, and Smokescreen is before Shimura, so he is 6. Okay. Yes.
You got it, bro.
So it's revealed that it's his quirk, and the user, the 6th user, tells him pretty much, don't overdo it. You can't really think of our powers as super moves on their own. Think of them more like tools that you have in your arsenal. And you need to, because you need to stop thinking so highly of quirks, because not all quirks on their own are very good.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes sense, because Deku, who was quirkless all of his childhood, would kind of see every single quirk as like this amazing thing, even if not all of them are. And who is his name is just trying to reaffirm that.
Mm-hmm.
The purple smoke looks really cool, by the way. I didn't expect the smoke to be purple.
Me
What
neither.
did you think it was gonna be like? Just like the gray?
I just thought it would be regular gray smoke.
Yeah, regular smoke. Nah, it's purple, and like he uses it to kind of like conceal himself, so
Mhm.
people don't really see him. Because obviously, if someone saw him, they'd be like, Deku, what's he?
Oh my god, it's Deku! Muscular figures out it's Deku, despite the fact that Deku has his mask down. And
I mean, it's the same suit. Oh wait, was he wearing a suit back then? No,
No,
he was not. He was wearing regular clothes. That is actually, yeah.
I want to talk about the look of Deku's mask because it's a little different from the last time we saw it. His like eyes are like completely black,
Yeah.
and all you see is like his like pupils, and it's all tattered up because from the last
Yeah,
fight.
it's ripped up and stuff. His suit, his actual suit itself is very like ripped and tattered too.
And he's actually wearing the like metal mouthpiece as well that hangs around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Finally
cool.
using that shit.
It looks like amazing.
So badass.
I remember in the manga when it like first showed up, everyone was calling him like the Dark Bunny Man.
He does look like a bunny man.
But Muscular figures out it's Deku because he just recognizes his voice.
His power.
I like to think he recognized the way the punch felt.
Yeah.
He's just that in
He's like,
tune with fighting. And he's getting excited. He's like, Midoriya, it's you! It's you! I missed you so much! Yes, we get to fight again! Yay!
He's really pumped up. He's like, he said like he's dying. He's been dying to fight him again.
There's like a shot where he's like talking to him, and it's like, it's all blue
Blue.
for some reason. But it reminds me of like those shots in like the Batman Arkham games, like when you die, and like the villain is like in your face taunting you. That's like that's like what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
So Muscular lunges towards Deku, but Deku notices that he doesn't jump all the way towards him. He jumps to the bottom of the building and flips it over. And
he is a path of destruction.
Yeah.
Deku uses his smoke to obscure his vision, and then he goes over to hand Grand over to Turtleneck, who's like blushing and she's crying. She's blushing because she's crying. But I also wanted to bring up that it's canon that those two are dating.
Yeah, Shindo and what's her name? Yeah, they're together.
Yo, actual couple in My Hero. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Where's their fan art?
These are background characters.
I do like Turtleneck's design.
She is cute.
She has like sharp shark teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like those in characters.
I always thought her quirk was like a shark related thing because she literally looks like one, but no.
But she contracts her body into herself like a turtle going into a shell.
She needs to contract some bitches or something.
She
yes.
does.
She already has, yeah.
But after Deku drops him back off, he's like enveloped in the smoke, like, and he's hiding his like identity that way too. And he's almost like Batman, like he's just like hiding himself. And I can't help but like sometimes read the subtitles like, I have to go stop Muscular, like in that voice.
Vengeance.
So he goes back to where Muscular's at, and he's luring him up with his black whip, and he's using all of his quirks in his arsenal to sort of dodge with danger sense and hide himself with smokescreen. And then he gets him into this little riverbed, and Muscular points out that he's using all kinds of weird tricks now. And Deku just doesn't even acknowledge that. He's just like trying to reason with him, like, yo, bro, why are you doing this? Because as Deku is now, with his whole trying to understand villains' motivations and stuff, he wants to know what Muscular's is to see if there's any hope.
Any hope redeeming him.
And Muscular just tells him he just likes to fight and kill people, and that's all he wants to do. And so Deku's like, okay.
Alright,
And so using only 45% of One for All is Deku's full power right now. He lunges towards Muscular. He lands one hit on him. And he does this because he noticed that the muscles around his body are starting to come apart, because earlier in the episode when Grand was using his vibration powers, it did weaken them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Kind of
So
loosened him up.
Yeah. So Deku comes in, punches him at 45% in the most animated way possible.
Yeah, it's a really they did a great job on this episode.
I want to note in like this section that the water is very well animated.
Yeah. Water Sakuga.
Whoever like animated like this whole it's just great. Everything is well animated.
Mm-hmm.
The entire
Such a good
sequence is
shot.
so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Also, there's this one shot where it's like all red and like
Yeah.
fucking Muscular is like towering him. It's great.
There is some interesting like shots, like differently themed shots in this
Yeah,
this episode.
that's a cool direction.
Yeah, the direction is a little more unique, I would say.
Mhm. It definitely helps that they got some Mob Psycho animators
Yeah.
too. I'm not sure if those. I'm thinking the storyboarders and all of that were probably standard MHA storyboarders.
Yeah.
But like they had like the extra oomph of like the Studio Bones veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the assistants.
And
Yeah,
then
he beats this. Yeah, the transitions. He beats this bitch up.
in one swoop, he's done. Just like that.
we get to see two other Ketsubutsu students run up, who are the Grand and Turtleneck's allies, who are named like Boomerang Man and Mr. Smith.
Dude, Boomerang Man looks like a fucking one character.
Yeah,
He looks
like
straight from One Punch Man.
Yeah.
And Mr. Smith looks like he's from X-Men or some shit.
So they arrive, but they see that Deku has already beaten Muscular. He's knocked out, tied up in Black Whip, and he's flying away. And the civilians from before run up to Turtleneck and Grand, are like, all right, yo, get him on the stretcher. We're going to help him. Because even though they don't necessarily like heroes that much anymore and don't think they need their help, or that the hierarchy system was kind of flawed, they don't want him to die.
Yeah.
He's still
a
kid.
Yeah.
Still a human being.
And Shindo Grand is like, was that Deku?
It couldn't have been Deku.
That couldn't have been Deku.
I don't know. It seemed like it was Deku.
And the next scene, Deku goes to the police station, drops off Muscular, again, hidden in the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yo, I got this guy. Keep him restrained. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, he
Bye.
immediately leaves.
We meet back up with All Might, who now has like a sick leather jacket and sunglasses. Like
he's so cool.
He's and they have the fucking Batmobile,
the Mightmobile,
the All Might Mobile, and we learn in this part of the episode that I don't want to say it's canon, but the movies are canon. The movies are canon.
It's basically canon.
He has the fucking like armor that Melissa's shield in the first movie made, and that's what it's like similar technology that he's using on his arms.
Actually, you know what? Yeah,
their names, even though it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
the first movie is definitely canon because we'll see later. There's even more callbacks to it. So you know,
which I'm glad. I liked that arm thing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, out of all of the movies that are canon, that would be canon, the first one is the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're called in the movie version, it was one singular full gauntlet is what it was called. But in this one, they're two on each arm, and they're called like the mid gauntlet. I don't think it's I think it's mid. I think it's pretty cool.
And they literally say like they're from like America or something. So
Yeah.
like it is the same technology.
Deku's
Hey.
also not wearing his standard Air Force gloves. He's wearing the original suit gloves. Or not the original suit, but like the first time the suit got upgraded.
Yeah.
Gloves. Meaning that he doesn't have the arm braces on his arms. So this is what the mid gauntlets are for, is to brace his arms.
Yeah.
And we learn that way back in season 3, after the muscular fight, the original one, we learned that if Deku used 100% of his power with his arms ever again, they would break forever. They would be unusable. But we learned that because he's been training with One for All and his body has gotten more used to it, the fight with Shigaraki, where he was using his arms, did not ruin them forever. But if he does keep doing this without continuing to strengthen his arms, they will be broken forever. Which I think was Horikoshi realizing that I can't have Deku use his arms and then not be able to use them anymore. So he's stronger now.
Let's just say like he's good now, like he's fine now.
But like if he does it again,
maybe in the future he might be at risk, but not yet.
But yeah, his body then is different than it was now.
Yeah.
So it was able to withstand it, but it's sort of backtracking on the not being able to use his arms again, which I guess makes sense, but also like why would you introduce that concept?
Because they needed tension to give a sense of like, that Deku wasn't just OP as shit, but then like the narrative needed him to be OP. I don't know. I think it makes sense for it to be like, yeah, his body is becoming more like accustomed, like it's getting better. So like he's able to withstand it more, but that doesn't still mean that he's still not at risk.
For sure.
It's just that like his body isn't as weak as it used to be, I guess. I don't know. He did take a lot of fucking damage in that Shigaraki fight, like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like after this scene, there's a little scene when like him talking with the doctor, and he notes that like instead of the energy kind of like, or just like the backlash being contained within his arms and like fucking exploding out, which would happen before, it was kind of unleashed outward, which kind of like helped his arms not fucking break.
Like they would break and then it would all be internal, but the more powerful One for All got, and we even saw this, I think, in that first muscular fight where blood started to spew out.
Yeah.
When he used it, which is sort of like the visualization of that.
Yeah.
Also, the anime Studio Bones fucked it up. They didn't show the doctor's face in the scene, who is Mario in the manga.
Oh yeah.
Leading up from Yoshi to Toad to then Mario. We didn't get to see him. What the hell? Studio Bones, worst anime studio.
Nintendo would have been on their ass. It would have been like, don't fucking put Mario in the show, you bitch.
Also, something that finally is addressed in this show. Finally, Deku and All Might tell his mom what his power
the
is.
Truth.
Finally.
They tell her the truth.
It's been 6 seasons and she's been in the dark.
I mean, at this point in the show, like they had to tell everybody else, so they have to tell his mom.
I feel like they should have told her his power the first time they talked to each other.
The scene where All Might's like apologizing to like Inko Midoriya, and on the ground, you should have been like, okay, so I got something to tell you.
You might want to sit down for this.
I will sit
She
down.
was already sitting down.
Yeah.
So I made this dude eat my hair.
So after they tell her what his power is, Deku announces that he is not going to go back to UA. This is a flashback, by the way, if it wasn't obvious. You've seen the episode if you're listening to this.
Or maybe
it's a
you haven't, and you're being stupid.
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with you? Go watch the episode. There's a really sweet scene with Deku where he tells his mom that he's gonna be back and not to worry about him. And it flashes back to when he was a little baby playing Heroes with his mom, and it cuts from him as a little boy hugging her when she's happy, and then it's now when he's a young man hugging her when she's sad, and
Yeah.
Deku's mom breaks my heart sometimes.
Yeah. She
'Cause,
goes
like-
through so much stress.
Yeah, like if I were like Deku's mother, I probably would have just taken him out of the school at some point and never
He
have to
tried
go
to.
back.
Yeah, she tried. But Deku
The story
has
would have
his own-
ended.
Yeah, he has his own responsibilities.
Mhm.
So after Deku announces that he's not going back to UA, he's gonna go try and find All for One and Shigaraki by himself. All Might's like, "Nope, I'm going with you," and he's crying, and
Even
I'm
if
crying.
you don't want me to.
And that's when Best Genius, Hawks, and Endeavor find out. Best Genius is holding his phone like all
In a
weird.
really weird way.
He's holding it like Levi Ackerman would, where like Levi holds his tea weirdly.
Oh yeah, what does he do? He like fucking he does something weird.
He does something weird. I forget specifically. Anyway, it's
Doesn't
just
he
like,
hold the? Doesn't he like he holds it with the points of his fingers like over the rim, right? Like around the top of the
He
mug.
he holds the rim
Oh,
of
that's
the,
right.
of
He
the
holds
cup,
it from the top.
even though like it has a fucking handle.
Yeah.
I think Best Genius and Levi Ackerman would be really good friends.
They would. Yeah.
They'd clean together and hold things strangely. But now, as Deku leaves UA, he's now teamed up with Endeavor, Hawks, Best Genius, and All Might. But
All
before
the
they head
goats.
out,
You can't see the background, the shot, but Minetta's also there. Don't worry.
I am it. Yeah,
No,
the
he's
goat.
not.
The goat is here.
Yeah, he's there. You didn't see him? Hey viewer, if you did not see
He's-
Minetta, go check the episode. Trust me,
He's like,
there.
hey guys, it's me. I'm here to help you out.
But before they head out, Deku comes in and has a conversation. Well, not really a conversation. He listens to what Gran Torino in his hospital bed is trying to tell him. And Gran Torino tells him that sometimes the best way to save someone might be to kill them. And Deku doesn't say anything. He just sort of, he
Listens.
his eyes narrow, and Gran Torino hands him his cape. That's how he gets it. And that's pretty much where the episode ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Deku's got a lot of tough decisions to make.
tough decisions were made.
He's
And
got some big responsibilities.
he's got a ton of responsibilities, and maybe this isn't the best way to do it.
Yeah. Maybe not.
But he does seem to be handling himself pretty well with Muscular. But who knows? It's possible that you eventually are gonna run into that one villain that you just can't handle by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing, and you're gonna have to.
Because Hawks and them are only following Deku they're behind him, right? Deku's still by himself. They're just around to like clean up collateral or fight other smaller villains around him. And if I hear one of y'all motherfuckers complain about this BlueSky one more time, I'm gonna strangle somebody. I'm commenting on the sky. That means I probably ran out of things to say. Other than this was a really good episode.
It was a good episode. It was good.
It was a great episode. A lot of awesome shots. Thank you, Studio B or whatever.
Yeah.
For putting their whole
bones,
their whole bones sissy.
Their bones sissy into it.
There's just they did the muscular fight justice, which is how fast it is.
It was very good.
How much of it impact that Deku has really grown.
Yeah, this episode flew by despite being the same length as everything else.
Get to see fucking Dark. What do they call this version of Deku officially?
Deku Black.
I just want to don't shoot. He's not black. I just want to call him Dark Deku, bro. Like Dark Hero Deku or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a video to show you after this.
Okay.
After this recording.
All right. Yeah, but it's interesting to see him. He's basically a vigilante now. Like he's off the grid.
Well, there's no grid if you think about it. Society is gone.
Well, if there was one, he'd be off of it. He's not affiliated with the school anymore, and he's kind of just on his own, and he's concealing his identity.
This is definitely Trev's favorite episode.
Exactly.
Because he got to see Shindo get beat up.
He got to see his favorite hero, Shindo.
And if you don't understand this joke, go back and watch UA Anime Club episode
something
4.
The first one with Trev on.
Yeah.
Do you think Shindo uses his quirk during? Never mind. This has been UA Anime Club.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have thought about that, and I don't want to think about that. Actually,
I don't want to think.
I'm good.
Okay, does Turtleneck use her?
I don't want to think about that either. Stop. Yeah, but
I don't think I really have too much to say. It's just it's a good episode.
I don't got too much to say either.
Deku's got his responsibilities.
Yeah.
He's about to really bear them on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's off on his own, and maybe that's not the best choice, but maybe it is. Who knows?
Maybe.
Only time will tell. Only a few more episodes left. I keep saying this, but it's really hitting me that we're gearing towards the end
of the season.
Yeah.
Which so far pretty solid season, I'd say. Yeah. It's been pretty good. I mean, I guess just because on the basis that they didn't skip anything.
Yeah, they didn't fuck it up.
It's been a good season, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Gran Torino. That man looks so exhausted.
This dude is about to die. He is literally about to die.
He's not dead, but I'm sure after everything is done and All For One's finally gone, I'm sure he's okay, I'm ready to die now.
Yeah,
he's looking at Deku. He's looking at Deku pull the fucking plug. Just do it. End my life.
Right.
End it.
Please, I'm so tired. Fucking kill me.
I'm so tired of having to deal with this. I've already had to try and kill this dude a bunch of other times.
3 times.
Jesus.
Or 2 times, whatever.
He's killed a bunch of other predecessors. Jesus.
I've seen I've seen multiple people die because of him.
Just end it.
Just end it, bro.
Pull the plug.
Yeah, pull the plug.
Yeah, I don't have anything else much to say about it either. Other than pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And the next episode, ooh, we got some good things next episode for sure. But yeah, this has been the UA Anime Club podcast. Thank you all so much for listening in. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, share with your friends, and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when new UA Anime Club episodes come out, as well as when other Figure 8 content releases. And as always, we'll see you next adventure.
I'm about to pull out the Ouija board just to communicate with Shimura.
She's dead.
Please.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and my quirk is necromancy. What?
I can talk to dead people.